Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Gareth Duignam and this is a discussion on awakening through the body. You may have noticed a series of videos I've done recently where I have been talking about meditation and awakening through the self. So there's obviously there's a lot of different stages of realization. And I'm going to make a series of videos describing these stages and these unfoldments through my experience. And I like to make everything as simplistic as possible. I really, really do. I don't think it needs to be complicated. Um, I've never really been very scholarly when it comes to the concepts around awakening. And I think that really helped me because I didn't have any expectations. My mind didn't grasp onto anything. And yeah, it's just, for me, it's the shifts in consciousness. Um, they're much easier to happen when we don't have an expectation of what it should be. Um, So I'm going to talk about this awakening through the body. So in my last video, I spoke about awakening the eternal self. The eternal self being the awareness that is within. Okay. And how that unfoldment sort of plays out is there's a realization of awareness awakening to the reality of itself and noticing that it is not this, not that. Not, I am not my mind, I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions, I am not, the feelings in the body, I am not the body, I am the awareness of those things. Okay. So it's almost like you are taking away everything and uncovering awareness awake to itself. Okay. And that can be really freeing, right? It's like there's a disconnect from the ego when that happens, when it's called self-realization or cosmic consciousness. And it's like a snap happens and there's a freedom. So what awakens is awareness within. Okay. And that awareness is fundamental well-being. Never sad, never down, just consistent equanimity, always sitting, always watching, always observing. So that's one of the first stages of the awakening process. Um, so there is another side to that awakening, and that is awakening through the body. So that one is awakening through the perceptions. It's like how we are perceiving what we are, right? It's kind of like a awareness, having a knowing of what it is. And then on the other side, there's awakening through our body, okay? And to go further in the awakening process, there has to be a rewiring, a reconfiguration of our nervous system and our energetic bodies and the physical body. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that as I'm going to talk a little bit about Kundalini and the dynamic aspect of consciousness, which is Shakti. Okay. And I'm going to just try and explain it in the most simple terms possible so everybody can understand and don't get too caught up in all the different terminologies. So we have these amazing bodies. Okay. The first awakening is I awaken to awareness, or awareness awakens to itself, and it realizes that it's not the body. right? It's aware of the body. There is consciousness has a body and it exists within the consciousness. The second phase, when we want to go further in that awakening, it's we have to awaken the Shakti, the dynamic energy that pervades all of creation. It's like the, it's basically, if you imagine all of your reality, we don't live in an objective reality, right? It's not like outside is this solid reality and we're here as these body minds, right? With these, my brain gives me awareness and there's a solid world outside. Everything is consciousness. You are consciousness and your surrounding reality is also consciousness, right? But it's energy, it's vibration, it's been slowed down, it's become solid, but it's all consciousness. And as you go through the awakening process, you come to realize that everything, the awareness that's on the inside, eventually starts to notice that when it looks outwards, there's a recognition of, oh, nature, the other people, um, the environment, the air, that's also me. Okay. But again, there has to be a process, right? There has to be a calibration of the body, right? How we can perceive through the senses. So if we can imagine consciousness as having two aspects to it, right? It has awareness, and awareness is just an allower. It's a watcher. It just sits and it allows everything to be exactly as it is. So it just sits there, okay? Totally complete. Doesn't need anything. It's completely whole, completely, doesn't suffer, just unbounded, wants for nothing, right? And that's sitting there. And we, as an individual here in this reality, are a part of that awareness. So if we take that awareness and we pull a droplet of it, right, at the center of what we are, in behind our minds and in behind our being, is a droplet of that awareness. So, we go from thinking that we are this, the body, the mind, and the world is out there to, oh, inside of me internally is consciousness. I have my own individual unit or droplet of that consciousness, and I am that. So it's like you are the greater awareness, and you're also the greater awareness is like a droplet in your being, right? So the other aspect to consciousness is Shakti, right? The dynamic energy that is behind all of creation. So when we look out, we see reality. It's an energy, it's a vibration, okay? And it's been, slowed down or condensed into, solid matter. Okay. And we look out, we observe it, okay, and it's there and it feels really real. But when we close our eyes and we stop observing it, it actually doesn't exist anymore. It's like if you can imagine a simulation and there's something, and again, this is all consciousness playing a game of hide and seek with itself. So what we look at, okay, is actually just consciousness in a different form. So we have the awareness and then we have like vibration or energy. And some people call this Shakti, some people call it the Divine Mother. Um, so that's what's forming all of our world that we live in, right? And the universes and the dream realities and the astral realms. So we are both. We are both awareness and we are also part of that dynamic energy as well, the Shakti. It's like we have a spark of that and we have a kind of a free will part of our beingness. And we're both. We're both the awareness and we're both the spark. And the spark is our free will. right? We're not just awareness, we're free will also. We're beings. We get to make decisions. We can, move towards love, we can move towards fear. So we have this decision space within us. So back to the body, okay? The At the very center, at the core of what we are is condensed Shakti, right? Some people call it the Kundalini, right? And it's that spark of the energy we're talking about, right? The Divine Mother, whatever you can say the universe, God, and that's rests at the very center or the base of our spine where the root chakra is. And as we start to go through the awakening, right, we can awaken through our awareness, right? But in order to go further, that condensed energy starts to go through a journey, okay, of divinizing the body, a purging of the lower energies, clearing blockages, traumas. So it awakens, right? It's like a little condensed, we'll say it's like a little snake of energy, right? And it opens up and it starts to come out of its resting place and it starts to rise and it can rise up through the central column of the spine, right? And it can be a really, really beautiful process. It's like a kind of a metamorphosis process that's going on. It's like you're changing, your being, your body is morphing into something different. It's like, a flower that's coming out of the bud. Something is happening, it's cracking open, and something new is emerging. That energy is moving through the chakras, the lower three chakras especially. And as it moves through them, it's clearing the 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 lower human energies like, this money, sex, power, clearing that, rising up through the heart, into the throat, up into the head, and eventually it reaches the crown. And if we can imagine the crown as being, we'll call it Shiva, right? The pure consciousness. It's the Shakti energy and the Shiva eventually merging in the crown and becoming one. Okay. And that's the whole dance of creation, Shiva, Shakti. And eventually they get up into the brain and it can feel like it's like the crown chakra starts to open up. It's like and I'm gonna use them really simplistic analogies of the thousand petal lotus. It actually, and I went through it myself, it's like the lotus starts to open up and you can feel it. It's like the crown chakra is connecting to the universe. All this, energy starts flooding in. And the two aspects of consciousness, the dynamic energy and the awareness, they merge as one. Okay, and this is usually what's known as unity consciousness. And us as the individuals now start to have a totally different outlook or recognition of it's no longer saying I am not this, I am not that. It's looking out and it's seeing that it is everything. I am the world, I am the people, I am the animals, the trees, the sunset. It's all me. And what can happen is there can be a sort of a collapsing of the boundaries of what we are, because we kind of perceive ourselves as like these solid, individuals. This is my body, and that's the world out there. And in unity consciousness, it's like the boundaries, they collapse down, they come down, and the awareness that's inside expands out beyond the limitations of the body, outwards, outwards, outwards. Okay, and awareness spills out into the surroundings. And the individual here, right, the perceiver starts to realize that, oh, I am one with everything. The universe, me and the universe are one. I am one with everything. This is all of me. I'm creating this, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful realization. It's known as unity consciousness. And it kind of has a feeling of, oh, I'm home. No matter where I am, I feel like I'm home. You know, any place. You know, you're in the middle of a city at nighttime. It's like, wow, you know, I am the city. The city is me. The people, it's like you see the Shakti, the energy, the it's like the energy in the night, the people coming out of bars and the laughing, and that's all the Shakti energy. It's all creation. And you have realized, awareness has realized that it's also that. It's inclusive of everything. Before it was not this, not that. The next stage is, oh, it's all me. I'm creating all of this for the game of forgetting myself and then remembering myself. So it's like, it's just, there's one consciousness, okay? There's one consciousness that is in me and is in all of you, right? Everybody is awareness. And we're all the same awareness, really, that's in behind. We all share the same awareness, okay? And it's a game. It's a game of that God or the universe falling asleep, forgetting its true nature, and waking up through a body or waking up as a body and forgetting its true essence. Okay. And getting fixated with the world and I'm here. And then the spiritual awakening process is a remembering of what you are or what you've always been. And it's not, there are no attainments, right? None of this is like the individual having attainments. It's a, a recognition of awareness, waking up through the body. This, it's basically using us, this apparatus of a body, these senses, you know, to awaken through this and remember itself. So I hope you enjoyed this. Um, yeah, if there's any questions, if you have anything you'd like me to add to this, you can drop a comment down below. I read all of the comments and I take inspiration for these talks on you guys leaving feedback and that makes me come up with the next video. So thank you so much. Happy New Year to everybody. I'll see you in the new year. Take care.